Okay, so today I'd like to go through a few ideas here how to make a hot tank that you can remove grease, oil, dirt, and even paint. And you can do it without an unusual amount of money. So the way I got into this was I decided to restore some old motorcycles. You got oil. This one is actually not that bad, but I have some others that are a lot worse. You have 50 or 60 years of dirt and oil and grease, and I tried to clean it with a parts washer, brushes, scrapers, and I thought this isn't gonna make it. You know, I want to paint this stuff. I could see lots of problems, you know. So I decided to make a hot tank. So the first thing it did is I got a 55-gallon drum, steel, with a metal lid that tightens down. The next thing I did is you get two stainless steel bulkhead fittings. You can get these online. They're about 1.25 inches where they go through the barrel, and they have a 1-inch pipe thread on the inside, which makes it very convenient to hook up a element for a hot water heater. So what I used on mine is a 4,500 watt unit that's 220 volt. You can get 110 volt ones that are less. And then I also put a drain in here so that in the future, if I ever wanted to clean the tank, if I get too much sediment, I can clean it out. And then of course it's wired up here to a thermostat that has to be tight against the tank. It's the same kind of thermostat that's used on a hot water heater. And I just held that on, I just wired that on so that it's up tight because I didn't want to put any holes in the barrel. And up here, this is drilled and bolted in, and grounded to the barrel. And on the inside, if you look in here, I just happen to have this cover here to put over my element so that you don't damage the element when you put stuff in this tank. If you take notice here, I used this tank to clean parts for one motorcycle, and you see what it did to the paint that was on the inside of the tank. It took it all off, and that's one reason why I cleaned it, to get all that sediment out of there. So that's basically the outside of the tank. It takes a little wiring, which you should be able to figure out. And the next thing is, what are you going to use for chemicals? So what I do is I fill this up to here with water, which adds about 40 gallons. And then I add sodium hydroxide, lye, or caustic soda. It's all the same. It's all the same product. It's all sodium hydroxide. And I add 1 pound per 5 gallons, which means for 40 gallons I used 8 pounds of 99% pure lye or sodium hydroxide. And this is set for 150 degrees, which takes about an hour, maybe an hour and a half to heat up, which is not bad. And the three things with this type of unit is the three things that make it work better is more chemical, which can be, adds up to more money, more heat, and more time. So the longer you keep it in, I put motorcycle parts in there. Actually, it took all the grease and crud off very quickly. And if you leave it in another few hours, it actually took all the paint off. And then I pressure washed it, let it dry, rinse it. You got to rinse it real good to neutralize the sodium hydroxide. You don't want to get it on macadam or anything that's organic that you like, because it will destroy it. You got to wear rubber gloves. It'll eat your flesh. You never want to get it in your eyes. You need to wear goggles if there's any chance of that. And you can strip you can use it for all kinds of parts, car parts, any kind of greasy, oily parts that you want to do. The total cost on this, really, I had added up, it was about $125 you can do this. There's some things I would do different. Is I use the standard heating element, which you can get, which I think only cost me like $12, but you can get one that's stainless steel. And I'm just concerned that eventually this is gonna melt the copper. This stuff will melt aluminum. You can't put aluminum in it, but it won't hurt steel at all. As you said, this thing was full. Look how clean that metal is. It doesn't corrode the metal. It doesn't hurt metal at all, but it will take everything off of it. So that look how nice and clean that is. That's how your product could come out that you wanted to clean if you left it in there for a while. So here's an example of, I don't have any parts after they came out, but I have parts here that, here's a frame that was in there. I rinsed it off, and then I put some epoxy primer on it and sprayed high gloss black on it, and look at that, ready to go together. It saved me a lot of work and also a better job, because if you would try to paint this after it had all that oil and grease that was in there for 50 years and all the crevices, you're going to get bubbling up and all kinds of other things. So this is what you do. So when you're done with it, you can shut it off, let it cool down, and then you can put the lid on. I put mine on rollers because, you know, when it's full, it's probably 300-400 pounds. You don't want to be moving it around. So you put your lid on, you can roll it away, set it in a corner someplace until next time. So you don't waste that chemical. You can probably use this chemical for years, until the thing you got to worry about is if the bottom gets too full of gunk. So then you can drain it out, put it in another barrel, and, you know, rinse it out, and put water and chemical back in there, and you're ready to go again. So that's pretty much it. I think the reason I did this video is because I looked all over for information on how to do this, and I couldn't find anything. So I figured, okay, I'm going to help out other people here, let them see that they can do this in their garage, and just be careful with this stuff. It'll burn you. It's not crazy, but you just have to take precautions. All the safety warnings are on the product. You can buy the product online. You can buy everything that you need for this right online. And that's it for today. Thank you.